in England. How are we doing, Thogden?
I'm knackered, Theo, but it's good to be back in London.
Look, I'm wearing the Tigre shirt that a fan gifted me out in Qatar. You're wearing an Al Ryan shirt, which is also gifted, right?
Gifted by a sheikh of Qatar, Theo.
That is amazing. Now, if you want a shirt, we're going to give one away if we get 30,000 likes to 10 different people. We'll just do it in the comments, shall we? Find random people,
do that,
smash the like button and subscribe. Remember, the content stays coming. Now, this is one of the last videos we're going to do about the World Cup, where we're going to pick one player that shined during the tournament that should sign for each Premier League club. It's an interesting topic. We all watch the World Cup, so let's make the transfers happen in January. Shall we start with Bournemouth?
Let's start with a like target of 12,000, Theo.
But I've already said 30,000 likes and we'll give away 10 shirts.
Oh, go on, 30,000.
Yes, come on, smash it.
Starting with Arsenal, Theo, and it's got to be Enzo Fernandez for me from Benfica, Theo. He was brilliant, wasn't he, for Argentina?
The great thing about Enzo Fernandez is in that midfield with De Paul and McAllister, he was the man that created box to box, had the energy. I predicted he'd be player of the tournament, and he was young player of the tournament.
Absolutely, and if Arsenal want to win this Premier League, Theo, they have to strengthen, and central midfield is a key area.
It's where they need backups. With Xhaka and Partey, you can't rely on that duo to win the Premier League. What if one gets injured? Who's the backup? I can't trust in Lokonga, so I'm also going to go for a centre mid, but it's a different name. A 23-year-old man who plays for Angers, who caught my eye at the World Cup. You know how I'm going to say, it's Unahi.
Now, is he good enough for Arsenal?
I do think he's good enough. He competed against Belgium, Spain and Portugal, where he played against the world's best in some positions and was able to hold his own and get wins. Now, of course, in that loss against France, I still think he held it down with Amrabat. He's someone who's got the energy, and I think he's due to be in the Premier League.
Aston Villa, Theo, I've gone for Yunus Musah from the USA, who is another central midfielder, of course. And this is a lad who could have played for England. Back in the day, he was at the Arsenal Academy, so he knows a little bit about Premier League and English football.
20 years old, and he's shining for America. That's something else.
And I think he would survive in the Premier League, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Villa need a midfield, but for me, one position that the fans kept writing to me saying that they needed was a striker.
Yes.
So I look to one man who does it for Switzerland. Every single Euros and World Cups, he's a big game player, he's a big lump, but he's got pace. It's Breel Embolo. Get him at Villa. Put your hand in your pocket, owners, and get him over to the Midlands, because he would score goals in the Prem, I bet you.
Bournemouth now, and I've gone for a centre-back from Morocco called Roman Saiss, Theo. Now, we know he's a proven player in the Premier League. He was at Wolves. He can do a job. 32 years old. He's got 2 or 3 years left.
Absolutely. For Bournemouth, I've also gone for Roman Saiss.
Oh,
we agree.
Yes.
Yeah, I just think he's an absolute rock. And he made Morocco beat the best. And when Bournemouth are in that similar position in the Premier League, they're playing against teams that have market value so much higher than them. They need that competition at centre-back, that added depth to help them survive in the Premier League.
Brentford now, and I've gone for Nahuel Molina at right-back. Now, I know Brentford would not buy a player from a World Cup tournament, but why not go for a World Cup winner?
Now, for Brentford, for me, the way I thought about what player they needed, it's a striker. Ivan Toney might have a ban very soon, and there's only one position that they need to be investing in, and it is a target man. We know the way they play football towards his game, and I looked at South Korea during the World Cup, and they had one big guy, 185 centimetres up top, linked well with Heung-min Son, scored a couple goals against Ghana, and that's a big game to do it in. I know they ended up losing, but it wasn't his fault. Look, he's 24 years old, he plays in the K-League, so you'd probably be looking around a 700,000 market value. I'm talking about Gae-sung Cho. And it's the sort of Brentford signing where you wouldn't overspend, so it's not a massive risk. You'd probably get him on a pretty low wage budget compared to the rest of the Premier League. But if he starts performing at an age where he's got a lot of potential and time to do it, you could have a striker who plays the same style as Ivan Toney and hopefully would offer as many goals.
Do you think he's good enough there?
Good question. And we don't have many options in this video. And I also know Brentford are not going to overspend. So I thought my pick was correct.
Brighton, I've gone for Youssef On-Nassiri from Morocco, Theo. We know Brighton need a striker. They need goals, don't we? And this lad, he's tall, he's powerful in the air. He got one of the best goals of the World Cup. And he's at Sevilla at the moment. He's on the bench, isn't he? It's
such a shame that he plays sometimes, but it's not enough. That guy's a beast. The way he leapt up for that header against Portugal to knock them out. He's a big game, big moment player. En-Nesyri deserves a Premier League move. He deserves regular game time. And that is why I haven't picked him, but I think it's a good pick.
Yes.
I've gone for the left back, Alex Balde for Spain.
Okay.
He's 19 years old. He had the most tackles at the World Cup.
Wow.
He's got so much energy. And Brighton have a history of picking up players that are teenagers from big clubs, especially fullbacks like Livramento, like Lamptey. Well, let's go for a Barcelona boy. Alex Balde. Give him the game time he deserves.
Chelsea, and who can replace N'Golo Kante? I'm not sure anybody but Declan Rice, Theo, one of the most exciting players in world football, and he's ours. He's 23 years old.
Yeah.
Get him at Chelsea.
Well, I agree that centre mid, holding mid is the position because they do have ageing defenders. They desperately need someone to go in there and hold it down.
Yeah.
Declan Rice would do the job. One man that caught my eye at the World Cup, you know who I'm going to say, it's Amrabat.
Yeah.
The guy's a beast, and he's transitioned his position from a winger to a holding mid. And the way he controls the tempo of the game, plays the passes in the right place, can get stuck in, use his heavy body just to body people off the ball. The guy's a beast.
Crystal Palace, Sofiane Amrabat of Morocco, Theo. And I
Yes.
think Crystal Palace need to look in this sort of position. And Amrabat, he impressed me from the start to the finish
He
of
did.
that World
I
Cup.
just spoke about Amrabat and I put him forward for Chelsea.
You did.
And now you're putting him forward for another London club. So I completely agree. Palace's spot that they need extra depth in is centre mid. I saw a lot of Palace fans suggest central midfield.
Yes.
However, I'm going to go for the right back, Nahuel Molina. Now, he's an Argentinian who played in that position and just owned it from the start. They won the World Cup. He played a massive role. At Atletico, he plays, but he doesn't get as much respect as he deserves. I think he could be the man to go to Crystal Palace and just run the show. He's a grafter. He won't cost as much because people aren't talking about Molina when they think of Argentina. They're talking about the other players. But he's someone who contributes. He got 1 goal, 1 assist. He set up 3 goals overall throughout the tournament. But he also does the hard graft, and I think Crystal Palace could do with that.
Everton now, and I've gone for Ismail Assar, Theo,
Yes.
of Senegal. Now he's having a good season at Watford. We know he's played in the Premier League.
I think Everton, they need forwards. That's the position that they should be going for. The striker that I picked is an Iranian who scored against England. Actually one of the most underrated players at the World Cup. He smashes it at Porto, and his price tag, it's not going to be cheap. But if Everton want to survive and they want big players like Richarlison from previous years, they need a big striker who's just going to score them goals. And that man is Mehdi Taremi.
Yes.
He does it everywhere he goes. And it's the sort of transfer I could see him bagging goals for fun at Goodison and just becoming a hero there.
Fulham have gone for Yawad El Yamik of Morocco, Theo,
Yes.
a 30-year-old centre-back. Now, he's playing for Real Valladolid. His value is less than £2 million. That's probably gone up, though, during the tournament.
Okay.
I think he's a rock-solid centre-back.
Now, for me, I've got to go Serbia. They didn't have a great World Cup, but there's one man catching everyone's eye. It's the 25-year-old at Fiorentina, Milenkovic. And I think, look, Fulham, they've got a Serbian cafe nearby. Mitrovic is always hanging out there. It's a great move. You're moving to London, West London to be precise.
Leeds have gone for Rafael Guerreiro,
Yeah.
Theo, a Portuguese lad. Now, his contract is coming up at Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
Leeds need cover, don't they, for Junior Firpo, who is injured. So get him signed up.
For Leeds, it had to be a striker again. Their fans wanted a striker, and I'm going to give them one. Kolo Muani from France. Now, you're probably thinking, how are Leeds going to bag the French striker? Hear me out. He's 24. He plays for Frankfurt. He's got an incredible record, and it won't be cheap. But if this move was to happen, it would answer Leeds' problems.
Leicester City have gone for Denzel Dumfries, the right midfielder, Theo. Now, I know this won't happen, but it's the sort of transfer that Leicester City should be looking to make. I mean, 6 years ago, they won the league.
I went a bit more realistic than you, shall we say. I went for a centre-back because Leicester fans said they desperately needed more depth in that position. And it's a very realistic move because it's the Aussie centre-back, Harry Souttar, who plays for Stoke. Now, he's 24 years old. He pocketed Messi. He's pocketed Danish strikers. I mean, the guy's a beast and he's massive and he plays in the Championship. He's proven it there. If you speak to the Australian fans who watch him every national team game, they know he's Premier League due.
Liverpool now, and they've got to strengthen in that midfield area. We all know that. I'm saying aim high, Jude Bellingham, Theo.
Wow.
The 19-year-old English centre midfielder, one of the biggest talents in the game. And Liverpool have got to aim high. Now, I know he cost about €100 million, and Liverpool don't like paying that, but they should. They have to. If they want to keep up with Man City, they've got to aim high.
You watched that game last night in the EFL Cup, and it makes you realise they need to invest in a big central midfielder. Borussia Dortmund isn't the final option. Erling Haaland made the move to England and he went to City. Now it's time for Jude Bellingham to make the move to England and go to Liverpool. Thogdad, we agree.
Hey.
This is the most obvious pick of the day. It's so clear that they need that energy.
Yes.
Jude Bellingham needs to be a Red very soon. It'll be great for the Premier League.
Manchester City now, and bear with me, Theo, because a lot of people won't have heard of this lad. But he's someone who's never played in the Premier League. He's won a few other things.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi.
What?
He needs to come to the Premier League and play a season, play 2 seasons. Who can afford him? Manchester City. Messi, get on a plane and prove that you can do it in the Premier League.
You are not a mug.
Yeah.
Because if any club is going to buy Messi for his final club show, it's Man City.
Yes.
For Man City, I've gone for the one position I think they need more depth in. It's left back.
Yes.
And it would allow João Cancelo to potentially go back to right back like he does for Portugal. Well, when he plays. Theo Hernandez at AC Milan. That would be the final answer to Man City's depth problems. I wouldn't say it's a problem, but if Cancelo goes out, who are you going to look to?
Manchester United, I've gone for Cody Gakpo, Theo. Now, he's a
You're
left
copying
winger.
me. No, I'm not having it. You're copying me.
You said the same.
I thought you'd pick João Felix for this one.
No. Now, the thing about this lad, Theo, he's a left winger, but I'm buying him as a centre forward. He is a replacement for me for Cristiano Ronaldo. His stats for PSV have been brilliant.
They need someone in and out who's proven it. And at PSV
Yeah.
and at the Netherlands, who scored in every group stage game, his record for PSV, he's got more goals than games. I agree with you. It's unbelievable how good this kid is. And it's whichever big club put a big transfer in first will get that name on their team sheet. And it should be Manchester United if they want to make a step up to the next level. We're seeing rumours about new owners coming in. Well, put the money on the table because that club needs it.
Get your hands in your pocket. Newcastle United, it has to be Marcus Thuram of France, Theo. Now, he's having a wonderful season at Borussia Mönchengladbach. His contract is up soon. Newcastle, richest club in the world, aim high.
One man that caught my eye who scored goals in important moments and could do the same in the northeast of England is Doan. Doan.
Okay.
That's a problem that you don't know who he is, Dad, because he scored 2 important goals. I believe it was against Spain and Germany to help them get wins, help Japan get to the round of 16, which they unfortunately went on penalty so close to a quarters against Croatia. This man has energy. He'll never stop running. He's young and he deserves a Premier League move.
Nottingham Forest, I'm going for a centre-back with massive experience. Some people might say he's too old, but he's got amazing experience in the Premier League. For Southampton, Liverpool, Dejan Lovren.
Yes.
How good was he for Croatia?
Great suggestion. He's old, but do you really think he has a future in the Premier League, actually? You made me double think this.
Well, it's Nottingham Forest there. No disrespect, it's all about staying up. And
Hold
what
on.
he brings is incredible experience.
Forest should be looking at the youth, trying to get good bids in there to help them bring and take them forward to the next step. Why are you going for another old and golden player?
You're looking for a mixture of youth and experience. You cannot just go with the kids.
Well, I've also gone centre-back because it's obvious that Forest need that. His name is Enzo Abossi. Cameroon overall didn't end where they wanted. They only showed their true qualities in their final matchup. They had a draw, a solid result, but for me, Enzo Abossi shined in that 90 minutes.
Southampton, and it's got to be Dominik Livakovic, Theo, the goalkeeper from Croatia.
You're copying my notes again.
And you know what? This lad could have gone to the Premier League a few months ago for about 4 million euros.
And the reason I've gone for Livakovic, it would answer Southampton's goalkeeper problems. Yeah. Now, he's a penalty save merchant, some people say, but I think he's got a lot more to his game. To help Croatia get through 2 penalty shootouts, and not only that, make crucial saves against the likes of Brazil to make it go the distance, Japan. The guy's a beast.
And he's absolutely good enough for the Premier League.
Yeah, get him in.
Tottenham Hotspur, I've gone for Achraf Hakimi, Theo. Now, I know it's not going to happen. He's not going to leave PSG. It's enormous money. But Tottenham Hotspur, Spurs, should be aiming very, very big. They should be looking to be in the Champions League.
How you've suggested Hakimi when he's at PSG on $500,000 a week is crazy to me. The player they should be all over is Inter's Denzel Dumfries.
Yeah.
He was amazing until the Argentina game at the end where I think he got sent off or he dropped a stinker. In the build-up to that match, he was unbelievable at creating chances and making goals happen. And that's what Tottenham needs.
West Ham United, I've gone for Josip Juranovic, Theo, the Croatian right back. And I thought he had a wonderful tournament.
Okay.
Come to London, mate.
Now, one man who's on the edge of leaving Dortmund is Rafael Guerreiro. He had a great World Cup, West Ham is an attractive move for a football club. They're a big club, lovely stadium, great facilities, and it's London-based.
And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers, it has to be Gonçalo Ramos,
Yes,
Theo, the Portuguese centre-forward. Now, he's come in, he's scored 4 goals in his first 5 internationals.
Ooh.
He's smashing it for Benfica, and he's Portuguese.
Do you know what?
He's basically Portuguese.
That's a great pick. Gonçalo Ramos smashed it. You've already mentioned him for West Ham.
Yeah.
But Josip Juranovic, he pocketed Neymar. He helped them, the Croatians, go on a great run during the tournament. He's Premier League ready. Oh, look, Premier League move can be tempting for money reasons.
Yeah.
It's a real shame that the SPFL doesn't have that same financial incentive. Maybe in the future it will. However, the Prem, when it comes knocking, it's different money.
Right, Theo, I thought that's a good video. You know what? I'm off for a
it.
Christmas dinner now.
Yeah, Christmas Eve tomorrow. I'm loving it at the moment. Being back home, London, it's frigging cold. But if we get 30,000 likes, we're going to give out a Christmas present, 10 different football shirts at random to 10 different people. Comment on the video, send us a screenshot on Instagram DMs. And if you're not following, we're not going to give it to you. But enter. Merry Christmas. Enjoy the time off. The Premier League is coming back. Predictions is soon coming. Thogden, how you feeling?
I can't wait. Merry Christmas to you all. Happy New Year. Have a good one.
See you in a bit. Bye-bye.